wrecking ball. I'm like, oh, this is great, this is phenomenal. And then as soon as their gimmick kind of ran out, I'm like, ugh, God, I can't wait for them to lose the title.
Well, I'm glad it didn't speak for me, because here's what I think is going to happen. I think the New Day is going to win the tag team belts, and American Alpha, I think, is going to make a grand return and maybe challenge for those belts. I hear some rumors that they have, I don't know what these exact plans are, but I've heard they have some big plans for American Alpha coming down the road.
Yeah, but I heard they were in the doghouse. Why give them a title then? I mean, I read online that American Alpha hasn't gotten they airtime because they've been in the doghouse.
They've been in the doghouse, but I've been hearing rumors that when they do make a return, it's going to be, they're going to make a splash. They're going to not just come back.
I hope so, because I mean, Paul, I once again I do disagree. I do think maybe this doghouse thing, maybe it was good for American Alpha. I've never been one to say they're stale. I've always enjoyed it. You know what I like to see, and you guys are going to say, oh, this is very this is so cliche. Why not have something? I mean, this is out of the box, but Kurt Angle, throw Kurt Angle with American Alpha somehow.
That could be their big splash.
That's weird.
Why not?
It makes I could see it doing the whole Sheldon Benjamin thing because Sheldon Benjamin.
They're all about America. I mean,
Haas.
Yeah, why not?
What do you do at GM?
Well, this is
Corey Graves. No, I don't know.
Well,
this would have to be for some period down the road, because obviously not just that he's GM, but when he's not GM, there's going to be something that he's going to be involved in and why he's not GM. So he's not
I smell something with Triple H, but that's just me.
That's what a lot of people are smelling right now. But that's for even way down the road. So maybe team them up with American Alpha SummerSlam 2019. So let's stick to 2017.
Please.
And the SmackDown Women's Championship, Naomi versus Lana. Who you got?
I'll keep
Lana.
it. Lana.
No, let me take it quick here, Brandon. Why don't you take a seat over there, get a lawn chair, and have a seat? Because
grab me a beer.
Yeah, well, maybe. Well, we'll see. It depends on your wife, right? Run it through her.
She's the boss.
So Lana is winning the championship. I don't see you make okay. So, and here I'm not trying to convince the jury. I'd like to be the only one that picks Lana, but with this whole buildup of basically the Emelina build-up for Lana, to have all of that, and then I think with Emelina and that whole thing, I think that was kind of a trial run of doing that kind of thing. They did it with her name, Eva Marie. They did it with her, and they're like, never mind, scrap. And then especially with all the issues. Then you give it with Emelina, didn't work, scrap it. Third time's a charm. Lana getting this push and the reaction from the fans, I think that's important, getting the WWE Universe behind you. Lana, the Ravishing Ruffian, she has such a fan base, and I think people love her or love to hate her, and that's perfect. That's what they want. They don't want people liking you. Emma, either people hate her, like me and Jared, or people like her, like, she's all right. I don't like her one way or the other. It's got to be extreme. And for Lana, it's extreme. People love her or hate her, and I think she's going to be champion.
I'll keep it simple. Paul, I agree with you on this one. Lana.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, huh? Who? What? Did I just get hit with a rock?
Yeah, I
all
think
right,
you
we
did.
agree. Okay.
Yes,
all right.
we agree for like the first time in the history of mankind. Yes, I think that they're setting it up the right way. I like her finishing maneuver. I thought that was an interesting maneuver. I like it.
Too.
I think the crowd reacted. It was a great pop, I think. So why not throw it on her?
I'm taking Naomi. I think she's defending the belt, and I don't think she's going to hold it for too much longer. But I think they're not going to give it to Lana, and they're not going to give it to Lana right now. I'm giving it to Naomi because of the storyline I told you about earlier. So if I'm sticking with what Natalya winning the Money in the Bank, I got to stick with Naomi winning the belt.
Okay, Jared, just quickly on that Lana point, why the build-up? Do you think?
Well, you got to bring them back with a bang. If you want her to then be competing for the belt, you got to bring. You think they're.
So this is just an introduction to kind of get her into the title conversation.
They can't Jinder Mahal everybody.
Okay, that's fair. But do you think that maybe this match will show off that maybe she's a better wrestler than people give her credit for, and then she becomes like a legitimate name at the title?
I think this match is a good indication of where she's going to go going forward. If it's a great match, then maybe they could give her the belt. If it's an awful match, they're going to thank their lucky stars they never gave her the belt.
Okay, fair enough.
So on my rundown, I think this would be very interesting. It says Jinder Mahal versus the WWE Championship.
Yeah, typo. RKO was supposed to be in there.
So
it was a typo.
I would love to see that match. Jinder Mahal just taking it to the belt.
I knew you were gonna. It was a typo. I wrote this up really quick. So,
but
sorry.
The WWE Championship is on the line. The champion Jinder Mahal, his first defense with the belt against Randy Orton, the former champion. He didn't have the belt for too long. Many thought he was going to have it for much longer, and if he was going to lose anybody, it wasn't going to be Jinder Mahal, but he did. And now they fight in the rematch. This is not Rusev. This is Randy Orton.
This is Randy Orton. And
so
in
I
his
don't know
home
what
city.
happened.
His home city as well.
So you think they give it back to Randy Orton?
Absolutely not. Not. I mean, that's what I think they're building it up as. But me reading into things as much as I do see Jinder holding this title for a little while, at least through the WWE in India tour, which I believe is in September. So I do think they want to keep him as champion.
Ooh, even through SummerSlam.
I do. I think they're going to go. I think he's going to have it for a little bit longer than people think because, India has they have a lot of folks over there, a lot of fans. So I think keeping the title on him through the India World Tour, I believe it's in September. So I could see him losing it after that, but I think it's going to be longer than people think.
I'm going to go with Randy Orton win the belt in his hometown because I just go with WWE.
Me too. I'm sorry, Brandon, but we just went from agreeing to disagreeing back to the way the world should be, I guess.
Shocker.
But no, I predicted Jinder Mahal getting the belt against Randy Orton, but now it's going to be one and done kind of thing here. I just don't see it. And I didn't see it with the angle. Like, don't get me wrong, the global exposure of Jinder Mahal winning the title and getting the coverage from all over the world, I think was a tip of the cap WWE. But I don't feed into WWE touring in India and they want him as champion to develop more interest. I don't buy that.
I'm telling you, that's the rumor mill. People are reading online. I think a lot of insiders are saying,
I know WWE kind of gave the Hearts a little more advantage when they were in Canada because they were considered faces there versus heels in America back in like 1997. But I think in this case, Jinder Mahal, they're still going to sell him as a heel. I'd be very curious to see what India's reaction is, but
they're going to cheer the hell out of him. That's what I think.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Because here's the thing. We went to SmackDown last week, and Luke Harper came out, and they said from Rochester, New York. And because he's somewhat of a face right now, they said from Rochester, New York. And he got this large pop because he's from Rochester, New York, and he's a face. And that's how they announced it. But when I went to an event down the road in the past, Luke Harper was a heel. He was part of the Wyatt family when they were bad guys, and it was a house show, and it was I don't want to say it was Rochester, it was Syracuse, but he wrestled many times in Syracuse, and he had lots of friends and family at this event in Syracuse, and when he came out, he got booed because kids didn't care that he was local to them. They don't even know these guys are larger than life. So they treated him like he was still a bad guy, even though he was localish. So I feel that in India, they're going to kind of treat him like he's a bad guy, kind of the same way that they do the thing.
I don't think so. I think they're gonna. I think he's
because
gonna.
WWE wants him to be a bad guy. I feel everywhere. I don't feel that they want him to be a good guy in India. I feel Jinder Mahal when he goes on the India tour, the first thing he's gonna say is, "I'm from such and such," and people are gonna cheer. And he said, "I'm glad I got the hell out of here." Like all
maybe.
I mean, because you see how they do that with the heels.
Yeah.
You see how they do that when they're in Toronto, but they want Edge to still be a bad guy, so they say, "I'm glad I got the hell out of here and moved to Florida.
I got on this dump, right?"
Yeah. So I feel like they're going to do that with Jinder Mahal when they go to India.
I don't know, man. I've seen it before though, where somebody was a heel. And it was like, oh, this is my home.
Yeah, I've seen it before with especially America versus Canada. I've seen that a ton.
Yeah.
But, like I say, I still feel like William Regal gets booed when he's in England if he's there facing Chris Jericho back in like 2001.
Yeah, but I think the Brits, booing him might be a way of cheering. Hey, think of it this way. As long as he's getting a pop, who cares? William Regal is a legend anyway, so.
So you think they're going to go because like British Bulldog was a good guy, so that's a little bit different. But like I say, these guys who are bad guys, I don't know. If I get a chance, the first question I'm going to ask Vince McMahon is, when the Iron Sheik went to Russia during your tours, if you did tours of Russia or the area, what was the reaction to the Iron Sheik versus Hulk Hogan when you did a Russia tour? Were they anti Hulk Hogan, or were all the kids huge Hulk Hogan fans?
I'd be curious if that were the case. Yes.
So long story short, I'm going with Randy Orton win the belt in St. Louis, Missouri, because that's his hometown. and he's a face. So that's how. If he was a heel, it wouldn't really make a difference if it was hometown. But we move on to the final match, the main event, the Money in the Bank Championship match. Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura. 6 men and a Money in the Bank contract to find out who's going to face that eventual champion at the time of their choosing. Who you got in this one? I could go many different ways because of the fact that I treat it differently than the women's one.
I'm going Sami Zayn. I mean, I think this one. I'm going with the what the, because you know what? I think this would be a great springboard for his career. Honestly, I'm a Sami Zayn guy. I don't think he's been getting the push that he deserves. I think he does a great job.
Can we all agree we don't want Dolph Ziggler? I just feel
yes.
I'm sick of him as like that guy who becomes champion because of this.
I would personally want, I look at things on how they're going to build it. I want Shinsuke, but I think they're going to hold Shinsuke off for a little bit. So I go Sami Zayn. I think it's the perfect springboard, as we talked about prior to when we were talking about the women. I think it's a great springboard for Sami Zayn to give him a little more of a build. I think it, and when his music hits, if he, if he wins, he cashes it in on somebody, whoever the champion might be. I think that would be cool.
I need to jump in on that music thing. When Shinsuke Nakamura wins this, which he's winning it, when that music hits, and you're like, no effing way.
I love it. He's got the best music in the business right now.
He does, 100%. And when that music hits, again, at an opportune time, Shinsuke cashing it in and becoming champion, I already see it in my eyes. That's 100%
okay with that.
My pick for the win.
I'm
Shinsuke
okay with
Nakamura.
that. I'm okay with that. I just think, that's kind of like, I think that's the popular pick going in the way, way things are. I had to go outside the box, man.
Wait a second. Did you just chide me? Did you just be like, oh, that's a nice pick? I mean, everyone's picking that, but...
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, nice.
Sorry,
Real
man.
Nice. Keep it classy.
Yeah, I'm not going Shinsuke Nakamura because I feel that he's got a storyline coming up with Baron Corbin. So I am going to go Kevin Owens.
Wow.
Yeah, you like picture in your head them holding up that Money in the Bank contract on top of that letter and that music hit. I'm picturing Kevin Owens holding that briefcase over his head and leaving.
I can see it. Again, it feeds into the whole, who would cash this in? Who's the arrogant a-hole that you would be like, I'm cashing it in? I could see it being Kevin Owens.
Absolutely.
And AJ Styles, like, it's hard. It's almost hard to see faces winning this because just like a face, because like, this is the equivalent of a sucker punch. No one ever comes up to the guy, hey, bud, you're the champ. I'm going to want to cash his title chance right now against you. Are you good? Do you want to stretch out a little? Like, it's hard to see a face winning this and then cashing it in at an opportune time. But I still feel that's why I think Shinsuke is still going to win, that he's just going to be able to flip the narrative. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going Kevin Owens with this.
I like it, though.
Like you say, I don't never see... I've seen people announce they're going to cash it in. We saw Rob Van Dam announce that he was going to cash it in at that ECW pay-per-view, and I think that's going to happen with the women's belt or the women's Money in the Bank briefcase. But like I said, I'm picking Kevin Owens to end the pay-per-view this Sunday night as your Money in the Bank briefcase winner. So that is our Money in the Bank rundown, who we think is going to win, and now we are going to finish off the show with our tweets of the week. And we're going to start with, let's start with Brandon, just because I want to hear what we started on a conversation earlier in the show.
Yes. Special shout out to, I hope I don't botch this name very bad, John R. Caravella, I think it is. I like the Twitter handle. It's at Dr_J_Fever. I like the tweet. It says WWE's flagship show is in the toilet, and Mauro Ranallo is going to call Bellator and the biggest fight in pay-per-view history. Karma is a funny thing.
Okay.
It's been officially announced he is going to call McGregor and Mayweather if people have been, in a coma for, a little bit. It is happening. I know I think it's going to be a hell of a show. I think $100. So if you guys want to start making plans, I think we should get like 10 or 12 people at a place and split it, because I'm not paying $100 myself. But
I heard it could be rumors of $125 to $150.
That high? Oh yeah. Yep. I will be. We'll make some plans, guys.
So, Paul, what is your tweet of the week?
Okay, I am retweeting it as we speak, and Jared, you just talked about it. That sometimes you just got to wait for the absolute opportune time, because anything can happen in terms of these tweets, and I'm getting all my hashtags